Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot readings for the week of June 3rd. If you're new here, my name is Sydney, I'm the tarot guy next door, and I use my cult knowledge and intuition to help guide you towards the life you want. If you have a situation you want me to take a look at, you'll find information on how to get a private reading below. I also live stream on TikTok on Friday mornings at 8 a.m. Eastern, you should check it out. I'll be doing 5-card open readings, and here are the decks that I have for you. We have the Tarot de Marseille with Dangling Jade, the Borderless Rider-Waite-Smith with Sunstone, and the Dark Mansion Tarot with Citron. We also have 4 different oracle cards to choose from 4 different decks. So go ahead and pick which tarot deck and which oracle card resonate with you the most. It's totally fine if you're drawn to more than one. And as always, you can pause this video if you need more time. As always with collective readings, take what resonates with you and leave aside what doesn't. If you want to jump straight to your reading, you'll find timestamps below. And with that, let's go right to the readings. Alright, group 1, let's see what we have for you for this week. Let's turn over the cards. Oh, a lot of people here. Okay, while I place the cards, I just want to remind you that we all have the entire deck inside of us. Any card can be any gender because there are a lot of people here. I don't see a single woman depicted on the card, and statistically, you watching this probably are. So yeah, keep that in mind. Now, excellent. All right, I'll see you right now. Actually, this is going to drive me nuts. There we go. All right. Okay, this is actually pretty straightforward. So before I begin, I just want to say that if you have recently picked the Marseille deck for a weekly reading, it's very possible that this reading is just going to rehash some of those themes. It's going to, this seems like a continuation of themes that I've already covered recently with the Marseille deck, so I just wanted to point that out. But there's a strong interpersonal vibe here. Obviously, it's all people except for these 2 pips here. And just like I did last time, this situation came up. So I guess it's a good thing that I've had to deal with this not that long ago. I'm basically going to describe the situation as a whole, and then I'm going to give advice for each individual in this spread and then move on, basically. So yeah. Like I was saying, there are strong interpersonal dynamics, but it's all about making a decision on how to advance from a past success, because this is a 10, but there's also a focal point here. And it's funny that all 3 of these people, we'll get to the juggler here, but that all 3 of these people are looking in the same direction, and through on the other side of this 7 of cups, the 7 of coins is the 9 of cups, which is, you know, in the modern Rider-Waite-Smith version is often called the wish card. And there's a very strong feeling of, obviously it's the emotional suit of the cups, and there's a strong like penultimate, you know, it's the 9, it's the last one before the 10. So no matter what frame you look at it, this 9 of cups is a happy card to have. And we have the matching card here, which is the king, who is looking through everything. He's the furthest away from the 9 of cups, which is his suit, the suit that he is the master of. And yet these 2 people outnumber him, basically. And again, we'll get to the juggler. It's quite possible that to all 3 of these people, actually, yeah, let's cover the juggler now. It's quite possible that all 3 of these people aren't even aware of what the juggler is doing, the only person looking in the opposite way, right? And to the juggler, I would say, I hope you mean well. Make sure that you're coming from the right place, because you kind of have free reign right now. Like it's kind of like an opportunity is opened up for you to do something while everyone else is distracted by something. Now, this thing, if it directly concerns you, this might be a warning to not let whatever opportunity this has opened up for you, whatever side door that you notice that no one else has, don't let that distract you from what this is all about. So that is a warning too. And B, when the reason that I opened with the ominous, like I hope you mean well, is that whenever there's a kind of power disparity, and right now this power disparity is looking like one of information, like you see something the others don't. And whenever there's a kind of power disparity like that, it opens the door to abuse. It doesn't mean that you walk through it. It just means that the temptation is there. And like I say, you know, when the door to abuse is open, it can only ever end one way. Either the person gives in to the temptation and walks through the door, or the person removes themselves from the situation to remove the temptation somehow, either through changing the situation or closing the door or just leaving entirely. But that is pure abstract. Don't read too much into that leaving entirely part. I was just finishing the thought of why I said, I hope you're coming from the right place. So that is the juggler. Now, the page, this is an opportunity for you to learn from the master and see what it's like to gain guidance from someone who kind of knows what this is about better. Even though they're both really good at what they do, it doesn't diminish what what your superior is brings to the table. It's just that what he brings to the table isn't necessarily the best fit, and someone with a better fit and similar mastery can best give guidance on how to, you know, cross this pinhole to gain the advancement towards the Nine of Cups here. Yeah, I was kind of talking to both wands at the same time because again, to the king, it's really a question to be mindful. Not every like not everything is a nail, Mr. Hammer. It's yes, I'm sure you're the best hammer out there. No one hammers nails better than you. And you've never met a nail you couldn't hammer in one strike, you know. But this is a screw. So listen to the screwdriver. You're both excellent at what you do. You might be the best hammer on earth, but this is the best screwdriver on earth, and this is a screw that you're dealing with. The no hammering in the world will change that, you know. So just be open to that possibility. And I'm sure that there are hammers and other things to smash or break on the other side of this Seven of Coins, Nine of Cups thing. You know, the future going on back here. And yeah, by implication, Mr. King of Cups, yeah, the cockiness that the King of Wands is subject to that makes him less receptive to the advice that you have to bring to this situation might on the flip side make you too arrogant in the sense that you're making too many presumptions because you're so familiar with this that you kind of don't, you know, you skip items on the checklist, I'll put it that way, you know. So be mindful of that. But I think that given how I've covered everyone and what I've said, I think this plays well into everything. So you've heard me talk to everyone else about you, King of Cups. So I think you get what your role in this is. So I'm just going to move on. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. All right, group 2, let's see what we have for you for this week. Oh yeah, the Eight of Swords reverse flipped over while I was shuffling. It might mean something, it might not. King of Wands. Okay, wait. Okay. Slight majority of reversed cards, but it evens out if you include the bottom. The only Earth is the World card. Yeah, I should do what I just did more often. Thank you, group 2. And it's a little crooked. Actually, you've waited long enough. I'll see you right now. Group 2, I don't think I've ever seen such a double-edged sword reading. There's a lot of opportunity and a lot of risk as well. A lot of risk, it depends. What I'm talking about is this vertical axis here. because since this is a collective reading, I have to consider both possibilities. So we have the threshold card of the Three of Wands here. We have the Seven of Wands, which I often read as defensiveness, which is totally how I'm reading it here, especially when flanked by the Three of Swords reversed. And we have the driven will mastery type shit of the King of Wands, right? So how do those three things combine? It's either rising from the defensiveness, going through the threshold, and arising as the ultimate victor, or falling from grace and letting some silly little thing make you all defensive and shit, and ruin the very potential that you have earned and are capable of, right? And now let's go to this axis here, the crux of because let's just say if you're not happy with your current situation, then this reading is looking, more hopeful. Whereas if you're on top of the world, then I might have, made some of you a little nervous right now. So again, I think that the key is in your relationship with one other person. There's one other person, I don't know who it is, but it's either someone who has disappointed you in the past or someone who has the capability to, and that whatever this situation is for you for this week involves a thing that you're more sensitive about than other issues, making it more likely for someone who means well to vex you. That kind of vibe. I'm just now noticing that we have double threes here. So I don't know how this plays into it. I'll just say that the fact that all three of these cards are odd suggests some kind of imbalance, but imbalance is good. When you walk, you're constantly falling forward and catching yourself with your other foot. That's what walking is. So yeah, imbalance isn't necessarily a bad thing. That's literally how we get from A to B. Hence half of the pips that are odd. Where was I going with this? Yeah, there's one person who might be the hand of God reaching down from on high or reaching out, that you can just grab their hand and ascend to this the mastery that you're capable of. But it would involve getting over some kind of heartbreak so that you can even see the blessing and the opportunity that is here. The only three upright cards in the entire thing, if we include the bottom here, are the King of Wands and the Two of Cups. So it's a very strong, not social circle. Well, this other person is in your social circle, presumably, or some kind of circle that you hang out in often. This could technically be work. Most of my readings tend like that anyway. But yeah, no matter what the situation is for you, it's really about minding your relationship with that person. If it's a person who annoys you, there might be some medicine in there. I was recently confronted with the harsh truth that I was recently confronted with it yet again. That the things that annoy us in other people are often, they remind us of something that annoys us within ourselves. So that's something to consider as well. And when you get over that, it helps you to see the medicine that's available in that, so that you can rise to the mastery. And it also prevents you from taking shit too personally and falling from grace into the needless defensiveness. But yeah, ultimately with the ultimate major arcana card underpinning the whole thing at the bottom of the deck here, it's very strong ultimate completion reward vibes. But the danger here was important enough that I've ultimately spent most of this reading talking about it, and I think it was worth it. And I guess it was a mic drop with me patting myself on the back. Why not? If you like this reading, please give this video a like, and you can use the timestamps in the description below to jump to your Oracle card reading. I'll see you there. All right, group 3. Let's see what we have for you. I occasionally misidentify cards with this deck, so I will name them. So we have the Four of Coins. This is the High Priestess. This is the Knight of Wands. He's on a horse. I don't think I would have been that confused. We have the Queen of Swords. And in the middle, we have the Page of Wands reversed with the Tower at the bottom of the deck. Of course, don't panic. Let's just make sure that this is decently straight for you. This should be decent. A little crooked. Actually, no, it's more than a little crooked. I think that's... If I accidentally made it crooked, I apologize. Nah, that should be good. All right, I'll see you right now. Group 3, this is actually pretty simple. The tower here I can see as the crisis that is opening up an opportunity for greatness. I really love the High Priestess here at the bottom of the cross. And I like the Knight of Wands galloping off into adventure, right? Now, the crux of the matter rests in these three cards here. I have the feeling that the opportunity or the solution that the Knight of Wands can bring to whatever crisis this Tower card at the bottom of the deck underpinning everything represents for you. It's, I think that the solution is one of these coins. And I think that it's a question of, it doesn't show, but for the last little while, I've actually been reading the Queen of Swords reversed and tying her into the other cards that I've talked about. Because the Queen of the Queen of Swords, the Queen of Swords, I often interpret her as hesitancy to speak your truth. And, you know, there's no sneaky, shady cards like the Devil or the Seven of Swords anywhere here. So I suspect that it is excess humility. Something like, who am I to speak up and say this thing, you know? And it's fitting that the two reversed cards, the only two reversed cards in the whole reading, are the ones who stand between the Tower and the Knight of Wands here. I'm not sure if there are many people or if these are different aspects of one person, okay? I'm gonna just try to describe the situation and hopefully it'll be clear to you if I'm talking about someone else or if I'm talking about you. I'm abandoning that angle completely. I apologize. But yeah, someone knowing what the solution is and through, I believe, excess humility, which is with the Page of Wands reversed here, is saying it's not my place to say it. And that is the main obstacle in the way of the success and adventure that is opened up with the dissolving of what was fake. That is also a way to interpret the Tower, you know? So it's difficult for me to say what the High Priestess is adding to this reading. I just love where she is in all of this. I'm not going to say the meme phrase that I say and everyone says when the High Priestess comes up. I will say that if you know, you know. And sitting in silence, holding your secrets is nice and all, but truth is useful when applied. You know, science needs to become engineering so that we get iPads. So keeping this coin to yourself and hoarding it. And again, I might be talking to the person watching, or I might be talking to the person that you watching this need to get through to. But yeah, you can sit on your secrets and shit, but the point of knowing things is to make the world better, and part of that involves speaking up when you know what the solution is. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end that reading there. Thank you very much for watching. I kippered up suddenly, but yeah, if you like this reading, please give this video a like, and if you don't want to watch me pick up your reading, you know what to do. The timestamps are right below. All right, let's see what we have. This should be pretty decent. Yeah, that will do. Let me do that. All right, Group A, your card is Compassion. How fitting. Let me just show it to you. And the text under it reads, the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart into the world. Let me reread that. The frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. The funny thing is, damn, I was really trying not to, but this fits so well into all three readings that I'm just going to move on. Group B, your card is first quarter moon in Pisces. Honor your feelings. Very interesting. So if the first quarter moon is in Pisces, then the sun is in Sag. What I would say is, the risk that made me chuckle just now is one of self-erasure to avoid conflict. The way that this card fits most directly, most straightforwardly into most of the readings is, yeah, the self-erasure in order to avoid conflict. And yeah, just remember that in order for a relationship to be healthy, everyone needs to be there. That includes you, Group B. Yeah, Group C, your card is the Sleeper. Lunar Mansion 28. I think I picked this card the last time that I used this deck. So I'm barely going to stare at it at all. This is the 28th Lunar Mansion, so it's the last little bit of Pisces before going into Aries, before starting a new cycle with the seed clutched into you. So I'm seeing a theme of renewal, a theme of finally, well, either renewal or getting ready to. This is not Aries, this is Pisces just before. So on the journey, it's like that point, you know, where you're lining your cars up at the starting line, you know, you're all fueled up and ready to go. So yeah, that's a really fun energy. And try to enjoy it. Try to enjoy the exhilaration. Yeah, that's the snappiest way to plug this into all three readings. You probably got that. Group D, your card is Bluff. This is Jupiter and Gemini. Jupiter is in Gemini by the time you watch this. It will have trined, I think it's trining Pluto this week. Anyway, let me look at this. Oh yeah, okay. The bluff word is absolutely meaningless in the context of this card and this reading for this week. This is a clear warning to not bite off more than you can chew. As soon as I notice this blindfolding guy juggling two axes, these two hands are well, the way that these circles are positioned over these two open hands kind of looks like juggling and yeah, just and this is Jupiter in a sign that he's not too comfortable in the sense that he can kind of get lost in the chatter, you know. So try to be mindful of that. Try to not try to focus. This is a warning to try to focus and to not bite off more than you can chew. So yeah, you can walk off to the week with that. Overall, this is looking like a really cool week, honestly. So this is very cool. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, please give this video a like. I hope y'all have a great week. Take care. I'll see you soon.